Welcome to Okami, I mean Mark of the Ninja, where the brush is used only in cutscenes, and the real protagonist is the ink. The art style is also inspired by inkwash painting, but story-wise, paper is replaced by the protagonist's body. In other words, Japanese tattoos. I'm Leonardo, and let's watch together this Saturday morning cartoon. Not really for all ages. That makes it more interesting for us.
Hey, you. Don't you hear the bell? I'm here to help you. Rule number 1, don't get me killed.
And we are thrown in the middle of the action already. She is Aura, and she will follow us everywhere while the bells are tolling for these ninjas.
We got the one that ran away, sir. They should all be killed or captured now. Excellent. Stand down and get ready to leave at 15.
There's nothing else to see here, but we are ready with the basic mechanic of the game. Light and shadow. No in between. The 3D model is actually approximated, you can see, from this swinging light. So it's always clear when you are in light or in shadow. Top left corner, the icon for when we're in light or shadows, but we can also see a protagonist changing colors, so we don't really need the icons.
Wait, where's your sword? Stick to the darkness until you find one.
So to the left there's a fallen comrade, and here there's one of the rare scripted events,
Watch out. They're coming this way.
which we can partially break by kicking the light, even though the game does not taught us that. And the guard will investigate. So there will be a circle where the guard is investigating. Everything is very clear from the sound waves that you saw before, and you can see also the footsteps of the guard.
Okay, keep moving.
And when I break the light,
More of them. Find a place to hide.
or when the guards are looking for us, we stay hidden, we get bonus points. We'll look at them later. So I've alerted the guards, but they will be slow to react.
Hold up.
See those banners?
Run,
We could
and they'll be
totally
able to
sell them
hear
to a
it.
gallery, and the blood will make them look even more authentic.
The cartoon villains are always slow to react, so if we run
Get onto that ledge. From there, you can pull yourself up.
fast enough, we can avoid detection. To progress, we need to pick up the grappling hook. The grappling hook allows you to latch on to grapple points using the right bumper. And we have split path. To the left, there's our first collectible. Voice of the Hisamu. Each level has 3 scrolls that tell the history of the clan. Recovering them will grant tokens which can be used to acquire upgrades in between levels.
A history of the Hisamu clan, as written by its masters.
500 men lie, vanquished before Tetsuji takes off his blindfold.
Would you hurry up? This place is giving me the creeps. It still feels like we're being watched.
So the only thing that matters is the cone of vision or the cone of light. So the hitbox is actually smaller than the figure,
Good thing you were out cold. Looks like they don't know you're alive. Let's keep it that way.
which was probably necessary if it was these movements were actually animated by hand. But the move to computer thing will allow us to try different outfits, which will grant different abilities. But for now, let's pick up a sword. The sword of the Tetsuji. The Hisomu save their sword until they can kill with one strike. This relic of the clan's founder has upheld the tradition for hundreds of years.
Now you're ready to kill. The beginning of the kill is like embracing a lover. The end, of course, is not. Good work. But remember, you have to be quick to catch them.
So if we try to be quick, run, we get in trouble.
Yeah, I think I heard something. Hey, shit, it's him!
Run.
Even though there's a cool name for every kill, like Slippery Slope, it's not the best way to go about. So we can go to the left, the guard will not be able to see us. Or just go slowly and make the guard do a leap of faith, which is more realistic than the Assassin's Creed one. You can see that the corners are sticky, so I need to press A to move from one corner to the other. And here we have another gadget that we need to pick up to progress. The darts. The basic bamboo darts, good for breaking fragile things and causing a distraction. They will not damage enemies, however.
The ink from your tattoo has honed your senses. Focus your thoughts, and you can freeze time in your mind.
The ink is the protagonist because the ink of the tattoo is giving us superpowers. And we can stop time and hit 3 things at a time or use it to grapple.
If you need more cover, you could always destroy the lights. But shattering one will make a loud noise, so be ready for them to react.
So we can break the lights, and the guards in the circle of noise will activate, start looking for us. Luckily, we can see clearly their flashlight that almost got me.
Waste of time. I'm sure there's nothing here.
If they got a glimpse of me, they would be alerted to a new location. When the circle goes away, it means they went back to their usual state, resting state. So the game is meant to be also solved, beaten without any kills, so we can jump on top of the guards. Also we get the undetected bonus because to try to balance the fact that kills, fancy kills, will give us extra points. We can see to the top right there's an artifact, so we can actually check them up and see that to get it we need to explore every corner. This is also a convenient way of... The point system is also a convenient way of filling the corners, the empty corners of the map. And now we have a guard. And we can kill with the prowling spider move. Or we could have distracted him using this gong here, but we'll have time to do that. So there's a gong. You see that we can get a preview of the noise circle and a clear indication that the guards will be alerted. You can also hit the guards where they just stagger for a bit. Instead we have a more interesting object here, a chandelier, that will give us an object kill. And here's another scroll.
We snap off a branch to make a weapon, but the tree must bear the wound.
We need to make him look the other way.
There are these convenient gongs to make up for the fact that we don't have left corner, we don't have any other gadget, and this light cannot be broken because it has a grate on top, but there's a convenient gong which also shows us the option objective, the seal progress. So while the guard is distracted, I will hide under the stairs.
Hello? Must have been something.
the lights of the guard will not go under the stairs unless the suspicious point is nearby.
No sign of target over here.
So if we hit the guard and run away, the guard will look under the stairs and the light will go through.
See that door? Don't open it yet. Just lean against it and try to sense what's on the other side.
Here we have the last scroll. So we have the points, which we'll see at the end of the level. We have the seals and the voice of the Izumo are the scrolls that you can pick up, while the artifacts are just worth points, like 500 points after scrolls, but I won't be worrying about points. They're helpful if you get discovered or if you lose points that way, so you can make up for the lost point and get the highest score to get more tokens. So you can see that if I hit here, the guard won't be alerted and he won't be able to see me. And I need to move fast.
We do not fear death. Our lives.
Also, if we enter combat, we can actually kill him when the guard is down. Not everything is lost when you discover, you just lose points, but you can fight back. Not with the sword, because as the game said before, it's only needed for the final blow, kill. So you fight
No one. Let's move on.
using martial arts, and then the sword used for the kill, and move on. So let's probably missed the last one, so let's hear it.
We do not fear death. Our lives have been cruel. The clan must always endure.
These haikus tells us the story of the clan. Great world building while we are without slowing down the action. In this case, in the first level, the story is one of sacrifice. So there's a hint already that the ink used is not without side effects. So now we have different options. The game is showing us that if we try
Run.
to jump in the light, the guard on the left will notice, because even though the cone is only in front of him, the line of sight works as normal. So if you are in darkness, no one will see you, but if you get in the light, of course, they'll notice you. There's a gong to the right to distract that guard, but the one of the left you need to find some alternative way. Here the sword used for the kill. Okay, let's try to distract him, just in case he turns around, and can also hide the bodies. We could have also broken the light, of course. So there are multiple options. Here we have another gong.
I scouted up ahead. They're taking Ninja as hostages, and Master Azai is in trouble. We have to hurry.
You see the map with your objective, and on the right, the optional ones. If you use the gong without looking around, you don't really know who's going to hear it. But in this case, it's convenient because we need to get here to rescue a friend.
They caught us by surprise.
For the other optional objectives. So even though
I saw you. Run.
the music starts and Aura says that we
This is the end.
have been spotted, that's not actually true, because only when you get the point notification you've been actually found. There's a bit of mistiming. Here we have two guards. We'll get later the abilities to kill him through the vents, so that's why I wanted to do that. It's not unlocked yet. So these convenient chandeliers, of course, you can see from the...
Don't worry about me. Go save Master Azai.
We are almost done. The first 2 seals, rescue all the ninjas and ring Azai's last gong. We are 3 out of 4. The guard will be confused. We can also cancel by pressing Y again. So I was saying that the guard will check the last point, but of course if he spots us. So here, it's distracted.
We killed as many as we could, but they overwhelmed us.
Can also use the chandelier. Actually, I left that door open, which is not a good idea. Best to go back. And now, well, I can just jump over him or use the conveniently placed chandelier. We'll get the ability to kill him from the vent. And we can also hide it immediately. In this case, I believe that chandelier may alert the guard on the left.
Don't worry about me. Go save Master Azai.
So we got all the ninjas. You can see up. So from the map, you can see there are 3 paths. The one above us is the easier one. If you are not interested in the optional objective, you can just destroy these lights and hide behind plants. Here we have our final large gong. This guard is distracted. There's something actually below him. Yep. Actually, the entrance is just right over here. So we can skip. We can distract this guard and move on to the other, but there's actually no need. There's nothing more here. There's another artifact. And another split path. You cannot go up. We can just skip this guard.
You picked the wrong guys to rob, Sensei.
It's time for the old man to retire, boys.
You mentioned that we robbed him. Interesting. This gong will distract both guards. And while they're distracted, you can go around, but actually there's not much time to lockpick. So, we can pick from vents without an issue. So the guards will return to normal soon.
It's clear.
And if they go back at the same time, you can go get both of them. If not, the one watching will be terrorized, which means that he won't be able to sound the alarm anymore. But we start shooting randomly, so we can see the combat. Perfect kill. If you mistime the quick time event, the kill will make noise and you get lost point. But let's save our master. And we get the last seal.
For centuries we have stayed hidden. We shunned the modern world and its jackals. But today, our enemies have found us. We must strike back. We will fight for our survival and our honor. I foresaw this day would come. And so, I called upon a champion to fight for us. He has accepted the first mark. He will defend the clan at a terrible cost.
Desperate times ask for desperate measures, but here we have the final screen. We can see exactly which guards were alerted, which guards sound the alarm, in this case none, so we get a 3000 point bonus. We are well above the 23,000 requirement. These tokens are will be helpful later. You can see the undetected bonus, distracted bonus, and that's besides the level score, which is the kills. There's also a bonus for not killing any enemies. So I was running past the guards and got the no enemies killed bonus, but I noticed that Aura actually complains if you try to run, ignoring all the alerted guards, as you can see here. You still get 1 CL at 0, and it's very easy to get 2, even if I did 0 points, actually negative points during the level.
But shattering will make a loud noise, so be ready for them to react. What are you doing? Are you gonna walk right up and say hi? Grapple into that tree and we can swing over them.
Use the breathing techniques I taught you. They will ease the pain. Let me tell you the story of the ink and of the champions who came before you. Before the restoration, as the other clans strayed and disbanded, a merchant sold us a secret. He led us to a flower whose petals burned with toxin. Put the toxins in your skin, and you will gain great and strange powers. But those powers will drag you into madness. That is why every champion vows to end his own life before he destroys himself. And the clan swore to protect. We must act quickly. Count Karajan is the head of Hessian services. He is responsible for the attack on our clan. His tower stands behind ring upon ring of security. You must kill him before he can attack again.
And here we are outside the perimeter, just after dusk. And if we drop down, there's a secret, because there are no empty corners. You can also run the walls like any good ninja until we find something that blocks us. So the previous cutscene, traditional animation reminded me of the Disney Renaissance, like the Chinese Emperor in Mulan, and then it takes a darker turn with the ink effect of traditional Japanese writings. So we need to bypass the office now. Map is quite simple, continuing the ink motif. And here we have...
These buildings are protected by high-tech tripwires, but you can wreck them all with a simple bamboo dart.
We have another small tutorial, and we have lasers. There are different kinds of lasers. That one would kill us instantaneously. Instead, that one is an alarm, triggers an alarm,
and you'll bring down all the lights for a time.
And a turret will come out.
The main transformer should be nearby. Destroy that, and you'll bring down all the lights for a time.
We can approach this room from the shadows, and Aura will tell us.
Watch. The alarms switch off when the guard walks past them. Or when he's dragged past them.
Yeah. We can see that when the guards goes by, the laser turns off. And we can use that to our advantage. It's quite hard to time it. We can go by or just kill the guard and drag his body.
What's in the van?
If we are dragging the body, we are immune to these lasers. So let's take a look at the map. There's something down. Here we have the option to use this information. So Aura is telling us to do bad stuff, and we're doing bad stuff. Of course, upstairs would have been much better. Also, we are timed, because one optional objective is to reach the transformers in under 1 minute, while the other optional objective is to break 20 lights.
The transformer should be close, but be careful. The catwalks are crawling with guard.
Yeah, so
Hold on. Did you hear something?
there's crisscrossing guard patterns, and yeah, the time limit puts some spice into this section, but it's already. The first seal is completed. We still need to destroy 20 lights. Being careful not to alert guards, of course this one cannot. We can see that Tokyo has interesting statues in this timeline.
So far, so good.
And to proceed here, need to destroy the generator.
Equipment failure all over the grid. Repair crew's looking at it now.
And we find the next gadget, the noisemaker. A small firecracker will get the attention of anyone nearby, so this makes gongs obsolete.
Remember, if a guard is blocking your way, you can try to distract him.
So we can just destroy this lamp, but if we switch to the noisemaker, the guard will go exactly where we want. Then we are free to kill. Okay. We're free to kill him or just go by.
Remember, if a guard is blocking your way,
Of course, if we use this one, it will be more unpredictable because it might look around in your direction. And here, if you haven't noticed already, you can stop mid-jump. These electrical wires. And in more complicated situations. If you want like an action hero, these games, as you covered. If one guard is alerted,
Oh man, the light broke.
it's best to wait
Hello?
or be very fast. Here the collectible is in a challenge room. You can enter through this stargate, which usually denotes a sacred space, such as a Shinto shrine. So there's the scroll, and motion draws the eye is the hint. Oops. Yeah, lasers. Also, the lights will not count. So we can see that we are in a different space. It's a simple puzzle, but also if I jump too high, I will get killed. So we can drop down this crate. And then switch and push the crate. If you are running, you would jump up instead of pushing like this, even if you press B. But here we have apparently out of reach. There's the introduction to these helpful things to work through the ceiling.
Let me tell you the stories of the birth of the mighty Hisumu clan, from the time of our first and greatest master, Tetsuji.
I tremble before Tetsuji, greatest ninja of Clan Hisumu.
So we get some background on our sword, which you cannot actually draw unless we're out for blood. And that one was was certainly all in our head. So it's a representation of a mental challenge. If you are playing like action game, you can just skip it, but a proper stealth game is just a puzzle. So you need to find the pattern between obstacles called guards. And in that case, it's part of the fits very well. Like the haikus, which do not stop your progress.
Damn it. Why isn't anybody answering the radio?
Inside Hessian's complex,
The blackout is working. While the guards fuss over that, we can slip right by them.
so our plan to destroy the generator worked. We still need to break lights. We get an artifact which we could see from the other side. We can also hide bodies under the stairs. As I said, it's not obvious if you are going up. You need to press up, but these surfaces can be jumped through, but the guards will notice it only if they are really suspicious. So this grate, actually, you can break the lights also if they're turned off.
The light went out.
There's a guard up there. I don't know if it's a good idea. Yeah. It's better to be sure that you are hidden when you break light. See if we can reach it. Yeah. Big directional. You need to point the right direction. Let's see if yes. It's another artifact. We got the first scroll in the special room, but we need to look for the other scrolls. Let's see what's in. So here we have different paths to the same wall, so it's best to just backtrack just to look at this beautiful statue. Backtracking a bit can help us. Oops. I moved the stick, but no one was around.
Stay alert. A man in black rags was spotted on the ground.
Huh. Apparently they spotted me. I think... not sure if... I think it's lore.
Master accepts any student with the wit to uncover him.
Hessian's troops are scouring the grounds, but we can sail right over them. Meet me on the roof.
To keep from overloading the grid, we got gotta turn the power back on one floor at a time. Turning the power for the 15th floor back on.
Spire on glass and steel. So you can see that the gimmick from this level is that the lights are turning back on after we broke the generator. So we need to move fast. Also, you can hear the music that changes. So the music is built in level, depending on how if the guards are alerted or not. And the idea is to move fast before the lights turn on, which makes everything harder. But the guards are not actually alert. This is the music when the guards are looking for you. This is not the case. It's just to get some extra tension in there. So I'll break the lights for the challenge anyway. And just wait for them to
Need to get that fixed.
return to their peaceful state.
No sign of target over here.
Now I be safe to grapple, but it will make a bit of noise. Okay, I'll kill this guard just to make things faster. I can also open doors and well, you need to get the right, you need to press the stick in the right direction. So here the lights are not turned on.
Turning the power for 16 back on.
The fluidity of this animation comes at a price. It can be awkward at times, just like hand-drawn animation, which was the initial idea for this game. I don't know how we missed that. Okay, now he saw me. So there's the vent to be past the first guard, but it's the second one who's harder because it's stationary. And this one luckily won't reach us. Another unlock is to kill him, to kill the guards through doors. We haven't got that yet. We actually have not yet seen the unlockable screen yet.
You're almost there. But so is the repair crew. Keep moving.
So here the lasers will turn on.
18 power's almost back on.
Actually, it would be easier for me to get spotted here, so one guard will come over here. But anyway, that's not safe because, yeah, the laser turned on. And now both guards are waiting there. So if you are not, these are silent kills, if you don't mess up the quick time event, this guard won't see anything. They are always pointing the flashlight down if they're at rest, even though in this case they are. Oops.
18th floor, power's almost back on.
They will also always point the light to the ground unless they are alerted.
What was that?
And that guard standing behind two hiding spots is quite hard to
Who broke the light?
go by. So they will usually be pointing flashlight down.
Ah, waste of time.
but if we get near that cone, they'll notice him immediately. Oh well, I could have used the bodies, one of the bodies, to get past this laser, but don't need it. There are always multiple ways to get, yeah, destroy at least 20 lights. So now we just need to avoid detection in this section, and we are good. So down, we were there before. You can see that the level comes up nicely. There are actually 2 paths you can take.
You're almost at the roof.
Turning the power back on for 19.
This rewards exploration because this room, if you move fast, has nothing. Then the lasers will turn on. But if you can use a guard's body, so we can just move around freely. So I want to drop the guard, but any game gives priority to the guard down, so I needed to press left. So now there's a pointless alarm system. Maybe there wasn't, maybe this part was blocked off initially, but players found this too complicated. But anyway, you can disable this to get to the terrace, but there's no point in doing that because you just need this.
Glint of shuriken reflects as fear in the eyes of Tetsuji's prey.
Yeah, Tetsuji, like us, is a predator, skulking in the shadows. And we completed the final seal.
We made it into the complex. This way.
And the next part is in a different level, so we can see how we did. And we got all the scrolls, all the seals, and plenty of points.
Karajan must be close, but we still need to locate him.
And we start the level with another tutorial, the spider dangle, but in case we ignore the prompt on the screen.
Time for some acrobatics. Use your chain to lower yourself until you can jump to that ledge.
This is the right length. You cannot actually do more, so as usual it's built to teach you a mechanic and you cannot progress until you've mastered it. You can use these grapple points to move the ceiling. There's a split path, and if there is an empty corner, it means there's an artifact here. Also, the pole cannot go up, only slow down the descent. Also, you need to press up. Let's go to the option, and there are not many options, but I'm going to disable the bottom up links to clean the screen up a bit in the top right.
Steer clear of the dogs. They can sniff you out even in the darkness.
So now we have a new enemy, and since dogs have a keen sense of smell, they will sniff you no matter if you are hidden or not. Of course, they can't see you in the shadows, but they get distracted, and in that case the dumpster placed there, it's actually helpful to teach you the mechanic. Otherwise the dog will, with this low ceiling, the dog, you see that the sniff circles are reaching the ceiling. So where the guards don't. So it's in case you got too comfortable standing in the dark, the dogs are here to freshen things up. And by killing this guard, we'll discover the first objective, which is fill 5 dumpsters with dispatch guard. So as in Hitman, you can hide bodies in dumpsters. And here we have a sleeping dog. So the sleeping enemies are meant to make you think twice about breaking the lights. Also, this one is a nest, a bird's nest that will make noise, but if you go near them, they won't notice. The X, the prompt for killing them, actually does not kill them. It's the hound's slumber, because of course we cannot kill dogs. We can hide them. We cannot hide. The dumpster fits only one body, either ours or one of the guards. Incidentally, the Clay Entertainment was developing this game in Vancouver, across the street from the team developing Sleeping Dogs.
I wish the lights would put that weird flicker. Yeah, I keep seeing people in the shadows.
We are the predators. We'll get to the right side of the door later. If you go up, well, here we are back to where the dog was sleeping. The commentary that it's in the remastered version or the special edition that I'm playing is here. If you turn the commentary on, it will appear. The commentary will appear as speech bubbles. But I think they are distracting for the first playthrough. We have a dumpster here, and our objective is to go to the left.
They're locking the doors. Try to pick the lock.
Before we pick the lock, there's a dumpster we can fill as soon as guards stop searching for us.
Let's move on.
We'll get a kill from a grappling point later. For now, we have the third dumpster. Also, we can reach. So if you notice level design, we are back. So if we had killed those guards outright, we would have skipped part of the level. Let's see on the map if there's something else. No. So we can finally pick the lock. Just keep pressing B. We need to meet up with Aura. He's always looking out for us. You can just follow that guard. So there's a room here with their first scroll. We need to go fast.
These poems tell the story of the mission that made Hisuru a legend.
On a starless night, an unkindness of ravens lands along the wall.
Yeah, the story continues, but you fight the controls to make them pick the right side of the door or the right object to pick up, to interact. Having the same button helps with using a controller. So this game came out first for the Xbox during 2012 when the Xbox 360 was promoting indie games for this summer of arcade. New enemy who will react by using a flare.
As long as he has a shield to hide behind, I wouldn't take him head on. Try to get behind him,
Must be
or above
something
him.
around here.
When they spot something suspicious. And this enemy
Did I hear something?
will make things harder to fight because we are of course fighting with our fists and the shield will stop,
I got a visual on the target.
will stop any attack. But if you are playing stealthily, there's not much difference. So they can be killed like any other enemy. They're just a bit harder. Oops. Hopefully there's no one down here. Let's see if I missed something. Yeah. There's nothing. Just death. You cannot actually go back. Okay, so we can avoid this one. And see a guy just chilling here. So we can go up or down. Here there's another guard. But there's also a dumpster. So I'm going to fill this dumpster and I messed up.
I think someone's down.
Yeah. So the noise, as usual, the noise does not, it's not going to sound the alarm immediately. Let's see if it sees us. No. We're just outside. The vision's gone. And yeah, only one body fits, but since they are in the dark, there's no issue. And we have another challenge room. Supernal light draws towards the stars. Keeping the poetic tradition, the poetic theme of the haikus. The titles can just run up, we are safe here. Tense, but not really if you consider the actual dimension of the hitbox. You can actually turn off the light, the laser. And get all three levers, but this does not open. Actually, it closes completely. So if you paid attention to what was opening and closing, this one moves all three regardless if they're up or down. So we can get from there. Don't think, yeah, this also disables the lasers down there. We get this.
Drunken, laughing guards spill outside with joy to meet the eyeless faces.
And we get our first upgrade point. So more stealth kills, abilities, equipment and upgrades can now be unlocked with tokens. Earn more tokens by finishing levels, completing seals and finding scrolls. More upgrades will become available upon completing future levels. Of course, we are not really meant to do all the objectives already, so we have 20 tokens and we can unlock the Hangman Hymn. When dangling from a grapple point, press X to grab an enemy and string them up.
Hang on your chain beneath a perch point, and you can grab an enemy right as they walk underneath you. You'll be the hangman and the gallows.
So then the Emperor Abyss is the opposite, where standing or hanging directly below an enemy, press up and X to pull them to an early grave.
Your foes are quite oblivious to their surroundings, including what's right under their feet. Hide beneath the grate and wait for your moment, and you can grab them when they least expect it.
And instead this one is for those who are playing as an action game.
A spinning kick, striking just under the jaw, can knock a man off his feet in the blink of an eye.
Rising Snake, hold up and press X to perform a spinning kick, launching the enemy into the air. I'll show you all the moves later on. These are the destruction items. We only got the Noisemaker and the attack items. Besides from different ways to tackle the levels, the replayability comes also from unlocking different styles, which are actually different costumes with different abilities. So we can only pick the Noisemaker and nothing here. Yeah, those are to change equipment mid-level and reach check.
Look at all the guards patrolling near that tower. And see those antennas on the roof? It must be a communication tower. There could be something inside to help us find Karajan.
We need to access the watchtower, and the optional is not being detected in this section. So we have another pole. If you press up, you can get down. And get, of course, another artifact. So now we need to go around all those guards. And I just wait for the guard to turn around, make things easy. And another artifact. So we actually skipped a lot, but we get in the same place. Yeah. So by exploring we get the easier path. We could have also gone around and, for example, gone up here, and we get to the same point from the left and the right. Just
Hey, I heard you were on the ninja raid. Bet. Yeah. I got a trophy off of one. Wanna see?
yeah, I was trying to listen to the guards saying that they were in our previous mission and they got a trophy for surviving us. Yeah, we have a guard asleep, so if we break this light, he will wake up, but otherwise it just sleep. So unless we go exactly on his flashlight, which is down between his legs, he won't notice us.
Hey, I heard you were on the ninja raid. Bet. Yeah. I got a trophy off of one. Wanna see?
So as a survivor, I'll let him live. And we get to our objective. So we have lasers, but we use the cool grapple point. Actually, I cannot get killed, so game actually helps you. If you keep pressing down, we'll stop here. And now we disable power. Get the seal.
We're picking up a bogey on the perimeter. Get the count ready to evacuate just in case. Oh, and we left this tracking device in building 6. You know, the little gizmo that'll find him in case he gets nabbed? Send a man to get it.
That's it. If we get our hands on the tracking device, it'll lead us straight to Karajan.
The second door actually opened scripted, not because we pressed the button. It seems that it's easy to run here, but if we do...
Did I hear something?
Yeah, that guard, the birds will make noise. And the guard will start looking for us. But you can kill the birds with a bamboo dart.
Hey, look at this. One of our scouts left behind some equipment.
We have the smoke bomb. Smoke bombs block laser tripwires and line of sight from enemies.
The smoke bomb gives you cover from enemies. It can also disrupt their laser beams, letting you sneak right through their traps.
We hear the echo as soon as we enter a vent. We have a new ability, we cannot progress unless we use it. Here we have one of the few scripted sequences.
There. He's headed to the tracking device. If we follow him, he'll lead us straight to it.
The optional objective wants you to kill the courier guards, and in case you miss the prompt, you may be confused. Those courier guards, it means just kill the guards in this section. So I actually need to get more aggressive, because if I wait too long I will lose guy, but it's not too bad for an escort mission. So we have lasers down there, also lasers up there. Yeah. But I waited enough, so the courier has moved on. Actually, I think it's safe. Yeah. Kill this guard, and while they are not looking, to fill the last dumpster. And jump over him. Yeah.
Get closer.
We don't actually need to run. He's waiting for us. So here we have a section, the dog. Okay. Yeah.
You lost him. Get closer.
I lost him, but I just wanted to show you. So the fill the dumpsters will remain. Yeah, the intended way is this one. Yeah, of course, if you kill him, it's a game over. But it's much better than to make it invulnerable. So when dog is away, I'll just jump here. So we have a lever that doesn't work. So we can actually kill him. And hide the body fast before the dog finds him.
The tracking device is in that office, but it's heavily guarded. We'll have to find another way around.
We see that it's heavily guarded, so of course we won't be able to go past these two very smart guards.
Need to get that fixed.
Very hard to go through these guards. There's no way we be able to get past those two, but of course there's a convenient reinforced door, so we cannot. The escort mission is over. We just need to reach the courier in this room to get his electronic device to track Count Hare. Of course, we have been killing guards all day, so not really an issue. We need to go back and kill those two outside. Remember, if there are 6 or 7, I'll just kill this one to be sure. So yeah, there are plenty of guards actually. There was 7. The optional objective will remain, so you can actually cheat technically. Of course, if we use this guard, we can just walk through. And so we need to go up, but this lever is not working. So to make it work, we go up down here. Let's see if we can, yeah, can toss a body here or just go down. And now the door is activated. And at checkpoints we get extra items. So here we have lasers, lights, and guard. So we cannot actually sneak up. So since we have multiple items, of course we always have the darts, which I actually cancelled because I want you to show you the smoke bombs blocking lasers. We have our body here. You can just go right through. Didn't mean to do that. So I'll just break this light, wait for that guard to come to check it.
Who broke the light?
Nothing.
And you can also hide bodies inside doors, like in dumpsters. Either us or the guard. And here we have another sleeping dog. So we cannot, I mean, it will complicate things if we break that. Yeah, we turned off the lights and the guards ran to the switch to check it.
I guess it was nothing.
And now that closed door will magically transform into a grate to vent. And yeah, there are lasers. So we need to do a cool action stunt. And we have more lasers.
There he is. Now, you can just kill him and take the device. Or if you're feeling merciful, steal it from him.
So I show you both. You can steal with B, but it's actually quite hard. You will react instantly. So the cinematics will start. Remember how this starts. And I just reload and do the proper way. If you use the smoke bomb, it's easier just to kill him, but the timing is quite tight because the smoke bomb will turn off. So if you want to steal it, it's best to first break the light.
No sign of target over here.
And then he will behave like a normal guard. But the cutscene is different. Yeah, there's more blood here. Definitely more blood.
Open those doors quick. The tracking device is in there.
They're coming. Run.
Yeah, they will open the doors, and maybe spot you if you are in the light. They're coming from the left. Actually, I don't know if I killed them. Not sure if they are the same. I think maybe if you don't kill the heavy guards, they will go back. So there's this very annoying noise that I will lower for you in post. Also, there's no So there's no separate slider, so I cannot turn down sound effects and turn up voices. The guards are alerted and very alerted, so they're pointing a flashlight right in front of them, and the dogs will react immediately. There's no sniff circle, but it still exists even if you cannot see it. So our goal is to touch that button because we are blocked by the elevator. They won't notice me. And yeah, the elevator actually never opens fully, so you cannot get in. It's always broken. So here we have something which, if you can see behind the blur, but yeah, you can see that there's a room. Also from the map, if it's a sealed room, there will probably be something inside. Here we have double lasers, but plenty of hiding spots actually. You can just use a smoke bomb, though with the smoke bomb it's not as clear where the boundaries are. You can just use one smoke bomb at a time. Actually here is required, so luckily I had one left.
A thick liquid drips down the silken thread that hangs above the pillow.
And this is the final stage of the killing in this level. And yeah, if you run here, you'll get destroyed by that thing, the turret, and more actiony stuff. This time you can die. Also, if you are not exactly in the middle, you need to stop time and point here, otherwise it's death. And there's some confusing lasers down here. You can see from the map that there's nothing down here, so they've just preferred an empty corner. But anyway, so there's no checkpoint here, so it's quite annoying. Here the guards are very alerted and you need to redo everything. Yeah, so I've been discovered. Actually, I could just run past them. And I'm back here. So the dogs are actually the hardest part, because it's not, I mean, they're watching in front of them, but they also have this sniff circle. So I need to wait for the dog to go far away. There's a grate, but I think it's just, yeah, it's an empty space just to kill guards. This is the second upgrade. If you pick this upgrade, it makes things easier in this level. You can also replay previous levels to get all the tokens. It's actually quite easier to get. Already have the second seal even before the final bonus points.
Good work. Now he can't get away from us.
So we're tracking Count Hare. We haven't seen yet. I think it's the next cinematic. We got all the tokens. And here we unlock more. So this is to kill guards from the door, Twilight Gate.
Wait behind a door and try to hear your enemy breathing on the other side. As he exhales, open the door and strike. If you time it just right, you'll be able to pull him through and close the door in one swift motion.
But spray.
Your enemies may spot you climbing up a wall, but rarely will they think to look for anyone clambering along the ceiling. Take advantage of this and pounce on them from above.
Gruesome version of Batman Knockout.
These tools, hand-ground for precision, will let you pick locks much more quickly than before.
Superior lockpicks, I'll take it. You use X to confirm and A to move on, so controls are, well, very streamlined. If you get Rising the Snake, and armor sleeve, you notice that these are 6 tokens. So if you are playing like an action game, you won't get as many tokens. So these are to help.
Durable cote sleeves will provide extra protection without getting in the way of your sword.
Got extra protection and the kick move.
These firecrackers are small, but they make just enough noise to grab someone's attention. They're not loud, so be sure to throw them close to whoever you want to distract.
So we also can upgrade the noisemaker.
With a delayed fuse, this noisemaker can explode whatever you want it to. An adhesive casing will make it stick just about anywhere you throw it.
And we can unlock distraction flare. So
This flare gives off a blinding flash that will stun any guard who's wearing high-tech goggles. The dancing light that remains will lure anyone who happens to see it.
we were forced to get these.
If you're spotted, these smoke bombs will give you a chance to escape. This simple little cloud can also block the path of their high-tech lasers.
But this one is optional and also very situational. Next time I get bat spray. We'll unlock soon these with combat seal. So the icon on the optional objective is actually referring to which path you are using. So these are combat objective, and you unlock a combat suit. So now we have a choice, and I'll pick this. Actually, I can show you distraction flares, but these smoke bombs are just too useful.
Corporal Kelly, would you care for a sip of this Riesling Spatschlis? It belonged to Otto von Bismarck. I traded a cargo of body armor just to see how it would taste.
So, how is it?
A bit tart.
My men in the field were waiting for that body armor. Half of them were cut to ribbons.
So, this was more expensive than I thought.
Look, we've got a problem. These ninjas...
These peasants! They are no match for us.
Maybe so, but they pack a punch. This one with the flashy tattoos. He's slipping past our lines. No drama.
He's just one man. And he should only need one bullet. I want you to take care of him. Personally.
Yes, sir.
That was the charming Count Karajan. And we are at the foot of his tower.
That's the tower, but it's under heavy guard.
I have an idea. If we can set that building on fire, the blaze will draw every guard in the complex. You remember the story of Sawayama Castle, right? That may have been hundreds of years ago, but this really isn't that different.
And so here we see the lore, but before the lore, we can keep the old tradition, the previous level tradition of putting bodies into dumpsters. And he missed that for some reason.
Watch out for those sensors. They can...
What I wanted to show you was that if you time it poorly, but you have no way of knowing that, but the rat may alert like this.
Watch out for those sensors. They can catch your slightest
Yeah.
twitch. So when they sweep across you, stand
He's
still.
around here somewhere.
It might be safe. It seems safe to jump over that guard, but it's not because of the scripted rat sequence. So of course I ignored Aura and she went down here. But first let's take a look at that. The Japanese history used to build lore, and we have Impossible to Conquer Fortress with lasers in a different pattern than what we saw before, so they guarantee that there's no way we can fit through. The reference is to Sawayama Castle.
Look, another equipment cache.
First, let's pick up the spike mine. Set a spike mine to kill the first guard to walk over it. Don't throw it too close to enemies or they will hear when it lands. And actually our first option objectives to terrify a guard by killing another with a spike mine. So this is the second, after the flare, is the second upgrade we could miss. But if you miss it, you will be reminded by the seal. Unlike the flare, which is, well, less useful. So to avoid rat complications, we can well, this one is not, does nothing. We can distract the guard like this, or use the spike mines. So if you launch it too close to the guard, they will hear it and break it. But let's see if we can trick him. Okay, can only throw one at a time, like the smoke bombs, but unlike the smoke bombs, the traps won't go away. So the guard will hear it, but instead it breaks the farthest one, since I guess it's the first that reached flashlight. I don't know, because yeah, it seems very close to him, but you won't notice it. And if we now let's go here. If we now distract him, yeah, that's the mine kill. We can also, well, if I add another one, we can also pick the mine up.
Watch out for those sensors. They can catch your slightest twitch. So when they sweep across you, stand still.
Not moving is enough. You don't need to hide like with the lasers, but like the lasers, if you are carrying a guard, you are invulnerable. Of course, otherwise they would trigger their own guard, though knowing Count Karajan probably doesn't care too much. Count Karajan sold, so the story motivation for these weak guards are that their boss sold a crate of armor to get a century-old wine, which of course is tart because, well, it's not fit for drinking anymore. Yeah, another artifact, of course.
These old buildings usually have a gas main in the basement. Start a leak and we can spread the gas to the rest of the building.
And here you see the terrify a guard by killing another. Oops. Suggestion. Yeah,
These old buildings usually have a gas main in the basement. Start a leak and we can spread the gas to the rest of the building.
So yeah, Ora keeps on with her delightfully devilish plans. Instead, the Count Karajan. Yeah, the guards are complaining about that. The guards are left without their armor. The only plan for the big villain, like in any cartoon, is to just shoot.
The flushing daimyo leaves his bed to find relief and never return.
The daimyo is the feudal lord. So there was the lords and the samurais, and this Haiku tells us that, well, the lord ended up dead.
What was that? Huh?
I'll just wait a bit here. The samurai were the retainers, the noble soldiers. Instead, the ninjas were from the lower class and
Hey, someone out there?
used for
All clear. Let's move on.
dirtier tasks. So we have a dog down here. And the guard is going to check the fuse.
I swear there must be something here.
Ooh. There was a close one and we would be dead, so need to move that one. And so Count Karajan is a mix between well, a slight German accent.
13. Any contact? Nothing, sir. Quiet as a tomb. We'll stay alert. He's out there somewhere.
Count Karajan has that oriental flair to him. He's a man who needs just one bullet. That's oriental philosophy. Instead, our plan is to create...
We've got pipes, vents. We could use these to start a fire. A big fire.
So the naughty aura is telling us that we could start a fire like in Sawayama Castle, but technically in that case the ninjas were disguised themselves to infiltrate the castle. Instead, here we need to use stealth.
That intake is drawing in the gas.
I need to break the light.
Open a few of the vents upstairs, and we'll be ready to turn this place into an inferno.
So we call the lift and these lasers go away. So apparently maybe it's the heavy armor, but he doesn't realize that the gas is leaking.
All clear. Let's move on.
That was the armor that they were talking about in that cutscene. So the game is using Japanese history to create world building.
The gas is leaking. Now we need to spread it throughout the building. Go find the vents that lead up from the basement and open them wide. 3 should do it. But opening more will make a bigger distraction.
So Clay Entertainment did the research or just looked at the first entry in Wikipedia. And yeah, there's not much known about ninjas, but one of their famous exploits is one of their famous actions is to set fire to Sawayama Castle so that the proper army could take it without a long siege. Instead, the haikus were talking about the killing of a feudal lord.
The hand that caressed, one bride, a lover, no heirs, lies still, palm open.
So we break the lasers with this, and the haikus were probably referencing another legend about ninjas, about a lord that died in his bathroom.
Good work. 1 down, 2 to go.
Smoke gas.
Apparently spiked by a blade, but probably suffering digestive illness. Trivial reason. So you can see that our plan is to open the vents so that the gas is leaking and then start a fire to distract the guards from the tower where the count is. And we just need to open 3 of these vents, but the bonus objective is to open all of them,
Is someone up there?
as a few of them gets quite tricky. So the guard will
I think I heard something.
the guards will check their nearest
I heard
switch, not since they don't know which one I used it. So he saw me entering the vent, but his light won't reach me because it's too far away. If the vent was on the floor, he would actually look inside. But I still need to... So this one is one of the trickiest parts of the level. Also, the whole game. So here we have a room with 2 guards, and yeah, I should break the lights before. So this one is already, since we are so easy for us to go along ceilings and work up walls. The level is built as a tower near the other tower, which we'll access in the next level. So it can get a bit confusing because the game is made using tiles.
Go check that out, will ya? What happened to the light?
It's easy to build levels by using copy and paste, but of course they can look a bit samey.
No one. Let's move on.
So here we have the switch that we need to go. Oops. So we can run through walls, and if I had jumped here, it would have been killed. So yeah, you cannot regulate. If you press the button, you jump. So there's the small jump and the big jump. Yeah, these are close ones. So we get this kill 2 guards with a single chandelier, but I don't think this one is good because the chandelier won't go through the floor. Yeah, it's best just to avoid and move on to another vent.
You need to open one more. Hurry, before they figure out what we're up to.
The other vents are up there, but still I still need to do the optional objectives. So let's go to the right here and see. The room I was thinking before was actually this one, and faster lockpicks help a lot in this level because the timing is pretty tight if you don't want to kill the guards. So here we have the vent with the guard and especially the dog. So the dogs are tricky because they cannot be approached from behind like guards and taken down. You cannot get close without him noticing. I'll try to get the guards to the left.
That just went out. Huh, weird that this light went out. Hey, I got a visual.
Yeah, and then the point was that lockpicking is movement, so you are technically moving while lockpicking, so the tracker in that position makes it quite harder to do it stealthily. And yeah, dog is easily alarmed, but I had just one spike mine that I need to keep for the objective, so I'll use a smoke bomb after I distract guards. Hopefully, yeah, to the left. Fortunately, the dog is exactly, yeah. Okay. And I
Gas leaking all over the building. Get maintenance here now.
Okay, that's enough. They're starting to get suspicious. We need to get to the roof.
So I got 3 out of 6. And Aura is telling me that it's enough, despite the optional objectives saying, for once, Aura is not inciting me to violence. Let's see if I got the timing right. Yeah. And I got the seal, and I locked the path of the hunter. First, these guys. Let's see. Yeah, there are 2 guards, which we cannot really see because they are up. So yeah, here he is. But they are too far from the chandelier to notice. Yeah, I didn't want to go up. I was just pressing right, so I don't know. To press right and down to be sure. I'll just hide these bodies to be safe. Actually, I need to go to the right. And we have another challenge room. Step away must also be taken back. So here's the hint. So you see that we turn off a laser up and we get laser down, but conveniently we have these grapple points. So we have the choice between the one on the right and the one on the left. The fact that the one on the left is a bit lower is a hint that we need to go here. But of course you can just try and then turn it off. So we can get here and we disable one central laser, but we have 3 up there and 2 blocking us. So we need to backtrack. That was the title of the level. And without these grapple points it would be quite harder. If I had gone here first I would have been stuck, but let's see what this does. So this one turns on another laser below, so we cannot go down anymore, so that's why to the left first. And these ones block the lasers. If, yeah, you need to be careful because if you grapple there before touching the button, you would die. Bit tricky.
Nightingales sing. From the floor their quarreling heralds an escape.
So this metaphor is a reference to the Nightingale floors, which were basically alarm systems in those times, 16th century. There were planks set up on, I think, aluminium parts, which would make a very loud noise, which for some reason they compared to the nightingales singing, which is weird, but they are called Nightingale's Floor. Continuing the story of the mission that made Hisomu a legend. I got the chandelier, but I ignored the spike mine thing. So I need to get one guard in front of the other to get the kill. I leave them alive and maybe backtrack here. Well, it's not technically backtrack because I went to the right. I still need to go to the left for the last 2. We don't need. We already disabled. So there's a vent below here, and another room here, which here's the vent, and here's the room. And finally we have a mid-level point.
It's a spring-loaded spike trap. Leave it in someone's way, and they'll never walk again. Or breathe, for that matter.
Set a spike mine to kill the first guard to walk over it. Don't throw it too close to enemy or they will hear it. I show you the distraction flares for a second and the path of the hunter. 2 attack items can be carried. All active stealth kill will automatically succeed. However, items will not replenish checkpoints. Distraction flare. Actually, here it's another. You can get also from above, as we saw a second ago. But the guard is not so clear. But you can see the light from the torch comes up to the vent. So if we go here, we will get seen immediately. Yeah, this is the distraction flare, similar to those that the armored guard threw.
Wait a second. I can see you.
Unfortunately, we don't have the bat kill. Luckily, killing a guard is safe because we are on top of his body. But yeah, the game won't let me target vent on top of the body. This guard is doing nothing. Cannot see us, but I will change back. Actually, show you for a second the path of the hunter that we'll use later, because now we have just one. We had just. So we keep the distraction flare for some reason. I don't think we're supposed to, because yeah, we should have just 2 attack items, but we don't. We have only a spike mine, so the second one is left here. The kill is there's no quick time event. We can immediately kill, otherwise there's no difference. I'll just reload to show you different way of solving the situation. See if we can use the spike mine, or maybe no, I'll show you coming from above. I don't know why the guards are not reacting, even though I was detected. Anyway, I'm back here to upgrade with X and equip the noisemakers to get a custom situation with the spike mines. So I get a spike mine. I don't know actually what happens. Perfect. It flops to the ground, and now let's see if I can do a double noisemaker. Yeah, so I can detonate it with Y, but no, only one at a time apparently.
I heard something.
Which makes it not too useful.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, now that they're both distracted, I'll try to get them
Was that a noise?
to get them close enough. Yeah, I'm using all the noisemakers.
Nothing. What was that noise?
Yeah, finally. It was not the ideal setup to terrorize a guard, of course. Now also the guard is shooting and above me, but at least I got it. I didn't want to ruin the chandelier setup with the spike mine, with 2 guards working close to each other. So anyway, we did this part. We explored top left corner. Empty corner means artifact, which are not really, well, are just points, so they're not really anything in game. And we can move on to the final event. Since we have the option, I'll just run back to the room with the upgrades get the smoke bombs, which are just too good for a stealth playthrough. So we are supposed to go around, which is exactly the same, but you can also use the smoke bomb and get out. But and finally, after 6 vents, okay. After 6 vents, the guards realize that there's something wrong, but they still won't do anything. The excuse is that it's an old building. So here we have an interesting challenge because we need to move fast to get here, then we can turn off the laser. Of course, the seal was already activated from our previous run. And there's more empty space. Let's take a look. This time there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. Just a drop. And we are at the end of the level with this complicated laser setup that we could have seen from the beginning, actually, from below. We disable all the lasers up to that point, and
Metal doesn't look too sturdy. And look at the way it throws off sparks. This might be just what we need.
The last ones cannot be disabled, so they went to the left automatically. And very conveniently, I'm filling the building with gas, so just a match would be enough to light the place up. There's electric thing, which will actually, I think, will kill us if we try to go. Let's see. There's a peculiar behavior. Sometimes it kills you. You can freely touch it, but yeah, sometimes you can get through. And sometimes it will kill you for no reason at all. So here we have the lasers which not turn off, and also they are just outside the smoke bomb range. But yeah, it's pointless if not to activate or as dialogue.
That fuse panel doesn't look too sturdy. And look at the way it throws off sparks. This might be just what we need.
So apparently it does not hurt us, but now that we moved it a little bit, we can actually run under it, and only after the last one we'll get the big explosion. So even though they show us that ninjas seem fireproof, it's not actually true, but there's plenty of time to evade. And yes, we did. Less guards, more traps on this one. And we move on to the final level. I didn't unlock anything, but I'll buy the bat spray finally. And go on with the classic look with smoke bombs. Now the siren makes sense.
All troops report. I want that fire dealt with now.
I knew they'd overreact. Now's our chance. Let's go. Go find Karajan. I'll stay here and make sure no one comes back in.
Apparently the guards are also firefighters, so they rush. And here is where we start from the same tree, but this time instead of lasers there's just a guard and the door is open. But we can also go up, there's nothing. So just laser, actually use, you just kill this guard. And we are in the Hessian tower. So the name comes from the regiment of German troops from a region. A regiment of troops that helped the British in the American Revolution. And here's Count Hare.
Look at the tracking device. Karajan is on the move. We need to catch him, and quickly. The fire won't distract his guards forever.
Everything comes together rather nicely. We get the tracker from the other level. And yeah, it's just one big level, this one. This one turns on the light, which makes the guard investigate. And so there's actually no point aside from avoiding to do this without getting discovered by sensors. Couldn't go through. Anyway, there's also the lower path, which is much easier. There's this mix of Japanese and American backgrounds, with the Hessian troops helping the British because of their ties of their region with the King George, helping the British in the American Revolution. So now they're basically a synonym for mercenaries in the US, from what I understand. Studied mostly European history. Since the background clay is Canadian. Oh, I show you the bat spray kill, so you can just freely hit them. So since their background is Canadian, is not hard to follow them as a Japanese, someone who studied in Japan, familiar with Japanese history. And there are just the basic notions about the ninjas, which provide world building without making this too complicated or historically accurate. So for an indie studio looking to make some good some world building without breaking the bank, history is an easy option. And here I'm moving the switches, crates. Since there are no crates on this level, of course I brought one down. And again, we always have the choice of using the crate on the switch or pushing it down to the next level. But here the hint was that there was no crate on this level. Here the hint is that there are two doors leading down, so even if we put, well, actually I can show you. So you need to run around the lasers here to get down. And down here there's the scroll, which we could skip it with the smoke bomb. Skip the puzzle with the smoke bomb. Smoke bombs are overpowered. So if we try to put the crate down, yeah, we would get fried by that laser. So we need to stay for a bit here. Yeah, and the same thing happens if you try to put the crate on that double door. Anyway, if you did it the wrong way, you would realize that you can't do anything down there because you need the crate. Press B again to release the crate. I didn't realize that before. Nice animations, but sticky. Reach the end without breaking any lights. I don't think it's already active because you would have seen it on the top left. But anyway, this one is the like mind place in a way. So even if we break lights here, we wouldn't ruin the optional objective. Anyway, we can push this down. Now, magically, with this button, this one remains open. But there's still one laser, so we need to go here, use these grapples, then move here, and reach this button.
A bamboo stalk bends beneath a foot that's in flight from a crimson pool.
So we're back here. So there's a sensor and a guard. Don't know if we... No. We cannot fit like with lasers. There's no space around the guard. What we can do is flip this switch and as if turning off on and off the night alarm with the lights. So when you turn off the light, the motion tracker goes up.
I think I saw something.
So now I want to go by, but I think I'll kill him just to be safe. Forgot about the optional objective. You cannot break the lights if you want the optional seal. So I'll just kill him. So I have actually have a smoke bomb, but I also see the prompts from this far. Let's see if I... Yeah. To respect the fact that there's a prompt so far away, this is one of the things that should be changed for with a higher difficulty, which you don't have. But I did have time to kill him, even though I was right in front of him.
You fools, let that building burn. Let them all burn. You're here to protect me. Never mind the fire. We need to secure the tower.
And to accommodate the fact that there's this flexibility, this easy far away kill, the first alarm does not count. So I didn't get the point detraction from that, just the icon. Just it's a nice touch, player friendly touch, so to account for the slower reflex time of the human against the computer, or more casual player against the pro. No, of course. Just kidding. So here we have the laser, which with a door, a sturdy door, which cannot do anything about. I didn't actually. The last part, kill Calais without raising the alarm, is the final objective. But then you still need to terrify a guard by hanging another from a grappling point. So let's see if there is a suitable grappling point here.
We're cut off. We'll have to find another way to get to Karajan.
So intercept Karajan, but actually we are not timed, it's not an escort mission. But the new guards come out from that door, so the map updates. We can see the footsteps, the noisy footsteps. So if you are fast enough, actually, I think you can jump over the guards coming in. This last one, yeah. Yeah, if I don't go up. Yeah, there's time, but there's strange thing here, which you can actually use a body of the guard, but you don't need to. And through the door, you can open that. But the door does not open. So, guard is looking for us, but cannot access that room.
Must be imagining things.
Conveniently, there's grapple points here. And here we have the button with a grappling point, but I don't have enough room to kill guard from here, unless I distract him, but no, I don't have. Actually, we could use the... Let's see. Could use the spike mines.
It's a trap. Who's shooting?
For a distraction.
Hey, visual in front of me. Come on.
Yeah, unfortunately the guy was alarmed before he could be terrorized because he was already alerted. But yeah, these spike mines work as distractions if you are using the hunter path. So the guard shooting the spike will alert, so it's not exactly the same.
What the hell is that? Who's shooting? Hey, got him. Come on. The hell is that? Shot fired.
Not exactly the same as the noisemakers, but can be used in a pinch if you are the hunter without noisemakers. And it worked out, even though the alarm was clearly sounded. So it's a bit tricky with the terrorized part. You need to be in the right spot, and yeah, this gruesome thing shows you that in case you still think we are the good guys. Clay mentioned that they used the ninja because they wanted a morally grey character. Yeah, so let's... Thanks to this mess up. Also, we already have the seal, so I can move on. Can use the bath spray. This alarm here. So I'm near the guard, so it doesn't work. So yeah, you saw that these turrets use rockets instead of... So I'll show you. You see the rocket coming in? You can actually throw a bamboo dart to the rocket, and that is the... We can also use the dart and get an indirect kill. Actually, sometimes I get indirect kill if I kill myself, which is quite amusing. But I get extra points for dying, but of course they don't matter because the score count resets the last checkpoint. Okay, so we analyzed this enough. Let's move on. I'm curious to see if the thing is activated from here. Nope, because we went fast. Okay, so now we can grapple and do this, or just kill a guard. Don't think... No, there's... Yeah, there's barely enough room. But we could also just kill the guard and drag the corpse to under the lasers. We got that one. We just need to not break any light and not raise the alarm in the final. Oh, also, I didn't show you the Twilight Gate. The kill from the door.
He's gone upstairs. Looks like we'll need to go around to get above the elevator.
So this doesn't call the elevator, but to the right we have the city with a drop. Actually, there's something. Is this an empty corner? Yes. But I think we'll die. No. Yeah. Even though there's a floor there, we are dead. We could buy the Rising Snake, but we'll probably unlock something soon. I'll try the Path of the Hunter since we are the last part of the mission. Start to become murder machines.
He's gone upstairs. Looks like we'll need to go around to get above the elevator.
So here we have the elevator. Again. High buildings. I was talking about these missiles, which you can break with bamboo darts, and they were actually intended to be the final boss fight, an elaborate boss fight, which was ultimately cut. You'll see later how the boss fight turned out in the end. We have another scroll that we cannot reach without smoke bombs, unless... So the idea of the boss fight was to... This one is a normal turret. So the rockets were leftovers from the earlier boss fight. You had to reflect the rockets with darts into the floor. It was too complicated, but the mechanic remained. So here you have a scroll. You can use smoke bomb or just... One thing I don't like is that the Haiku stops. And to hear it again, you need to go the option. So appreciate that it doesn't ruin the pacing. It doesn't stop the action, the Haiku, but it should repeat if I die. Need to go to the option to play it again. I'll do this after the last one. Here we can do this to stop time. And there's nothing below us. We have another one of these statues pressing things up. Standard Tokyo-like skyscape. We have intermittent lasers for some reasons.
So now what's the plan?
Hold him off while I leave.
Yes, sir. Well, my friend, you chose the fight.
And of course, Count Karajan leaves like any good anime villain before the last episode. We'll face Kelly. So we could actually directly kill this. And now the optional seal starts. Killing Kelly without raising the alarm. So now the guards are agitated and they will react much faster. So it's a convenient pot.
Hey, come out here.
That switch was to break the lasers there.
I know he's still around here somewhere.
It would have been better to use this body to block the laser. So the thing here, we can time this right and do everything without In a ghost playthrough, you need to go here, and potentially you could also get to this. Here in the corner is safe because the light does not reach this part.
I should look around.
So when the guard turns the other way, there's a small window.
All clear. Let's move on.
So we can do this without touching anyone, without...
Target could be open. Shooting.
Yeah, without anything, but it's... I should have gone inside door here. Anyway, that was the difficult part. But I'm the hunters. I'm going to hunt them. I cannot fit the body here because it has no door. There's no point in breaking. Wow, yes, there's a point, but he could have just dragged the body. Yep. I still need the last seal. I think it's nearby, because we are near the end of the level. So, yeah, if you go through, run through the door, there are two guards waiting for you. The hunter. This hunter is smart. There's also the kill from below. I don't know. I don't think I've shown it yet. And that's that. There are lasers here with the final scroll, so we time this right.
Tomorrow we fight the hand that feeds us today. Either way, we'll eat.
So here we have another step in the story. Since we missed the second, I run them again.
A bamboo stalk bends beneath a foot that's in flight from a crimson pool. The ravens vanish as flames lick the roof. Ashes will smother a name. Tomorrow we bite the hand that feeds us today. Either way, we'll eat.
And with this dark expression, we move on. So this laser actually does not reach us miraculously. So yeah, the hitboxes are not as precise. Things are rigged in the player's favor. And we are done. We can move on to the boss fight.
We've got this hallway locked down. No one gets through here alive.
So we had this double laser setup. You can just run below it. And there's a guard stomping around. The developer commentary, there's also mention how the sound designer used a duffel bag full of belt and buckles to make the sounds of clothing when these guards were stomping around. Of course, with the loud music, you cannot hear it. yeah, dragging this duffel bag around the street.
Watch out. A sniper can end your life with just one shot. We'll need to find a way to block his scope.
And here we have a sniper. So we cannot jump up because there's a laser. But we have a sniper blocking this door, which... if we use this, we are back. I went to the left, but to the right there was this sniper blocking the door, killing us instantly. We went through the door, but the guard will not behave normally, so you won't notice that a crate is moved in the way. Guards in a stealth game are just obstacles for a puzzle to solve, to find the right path. The puzzle is finding the right path through the guards. So we can go around. There's actually, yeah, another empty room filled with an artifact. And we are at the end of this. This during testing was just one level, the previous part, left side and right side, and they said that during playtesting it took 2 hours and a half, so they split in two. Yeah, this, maybe in hard mode there shouldn't be this protection with these metal surfaces, because it's ridiculous. You can just jump, even though he clearly heard, was alerted up. But we can kill him like any other, so it's just the same sprite of the other guards. But now we have broken this laser, and so we can go up.
If you don't show yourself, how can I thank you for making us look like a pack of flaming idiots?
So they start to get angry. That is a quite charming character, not like his boss running away after teleporting through the levels. Teleporting to avoid issues with the player catching up and breaking the game. Quite like the sprite, the figure of, it's not actually a sprite, the figure of Count Hare.
If you don't show yourself, how can I thank you for making us look like a pack of flaming idiots?
So he's angry, but at least he's not cursing. So this room is useless to us because to the left, the left door is closed. So now there is a crate and the light, which we cannot break, and actually we would have ruined the objective. This guard is looking this way. I could use a smoke bomb, but there's a crate, so you don't really need. This guard is. He will get alerted if I open the door. So either I run away fast, or just use the tools for once, like good ninja. This crate blocks the light, and this guard helps us blocking these lasers. Distraction items are not mandatory. I'm not using them a lot. If we don't want to use them, to have player freedom and get everyone to choose their favorite loadout, now I actually don't need this. Here it would have been the door, and here there's a checkpoint. Reach the end without breaking any lights is completed.
Come out, little ninja.
There's the man who led the assault against the clan. Now he's the only thing standing between us and Karajan. How quickly the serpent has become the mouse.
Yeah, so Aura tries to convince us that we're doing a good thing by killing this one. And this is one of the only cases in which you have to kill. So the level is designed in a way that you can go past every guard. You could spare this sniper, but this point you need to kill.
Kelly seems to think you'll face him like a glorious samurai. Guess he doesn't know much about ninja.
And here we have the distinction between the honorable samurai, probably noble born, instead the peasants, as the Count said before, the peasant ninjas using dirty tactics. So the samurai followed the code, like chivalry code in medieval Europe. The ninjas not so much. So these two levers turned off these lasers, the lasers below us. And so here you may be confused on what to do with these snipers here, and poor Corporal Kelly down there. You can break these like we did in the last level, which was the same level originally. And there's this bright danger high voltage in case someone is confused. Maybe it would have been better to just make these yellows so you know that they are breakable and don't. In the whole game there's this contrast between the art style, the clay art style, almost hand painted, and the need to make a logical level making sense. So now we use this, and Kelly is dazed. So you can see that technically Kelly is not the only one we killed, because we killed also these guards, which maybe knocked down, I don't know. But yeah, the fight does not really work. You could go around and go back there. In the commentary they said that they tried different things, no little ways, but in the end nothing worked out with the rockets that we saw before. Nothing worked out, and instead of killing him instantly, they dazed him so that you can do the act. So it's not an accident kill in Hitman, you are stabbing Corporal Kelly. Poor Corporal Kelly. And Count Hare leaves.
It looks like Karjan got a reprieve. And so did you.
We're not at the end yet. Count Hare will go back to his native Europe with a welcome change of scenery in the next episode. So we can have a brief shadow, assassinate unsuspecting enemies by pressing X while concealed in a hiding spot.
While you're lurking in the shadows or hiding behind cover, you can pounce on your targets as they pass within inches of you.
Slide kick.
As you run, shift your weight and drop onto your rear leg. Swing the slide kick through his calves and he'll be knocked down and ready for the kill.
Grim Harbinger.
Leaving a dead body hanging from a perch point can keep it from being discovered. Or it can serve as a terrifying warning to all who see it.
So these are the six extra kills. Then we have the upgrade, so the noisemaker can be remotely detonated, which I didn't find extremely useful. Smoke bomb upgrade.
A mixture of dried nettle and stingray venom has been added to the powder. Anyone caught in this cloud will be left choking and coughing.
And distraction flares detonated from a distance.
The reagents are on a delayed fuse, which means you can detonate this whenever you'd like.
Spike mine upgrade does not make any noise, which actually ruins the fact that I packed mine instead of the noisemakers, which are only attack items.
With a lighter casing and bamboo spikes, this spike mine will make less noise when it hits the ground.
New items, caltrops.
These caltrops will blanket an area and slice up the feet of anyone who steps on them. Your enemies can't chase you if they can't even walk.
So we'll try that. Next time, unlock the Brief Shadow first. So we unlock the Path of the Hunter. 2 attack items can be carried and all stealth kill automatically succeed. However, items will not replenish at checkpoints. And the Path of Silence, running makes no noise and 2 distraction items can be carried. However, there's no room for a sword. So this one is interesting for the pure stealth playstyle, but we'll have time to cover all that. For now, back to the main menu and the level selection screen, which I didn't show you. Ancestral Home is our next objective. Today we covered Ink and Dreams, you awake to the sound of a bell and gunfire. You must save Azai. Breaching the perimeter, using the power of the mark, you must fight back against Hessian services before they strike again. And this is Oshi City, where everything happened. Trail of Shadow. You made into the complex, now you must locate Karajan. A change in course, your target is hiding in Hessian Tower under heavy guard. You'll need to distract his forces before you can get inside. And the fall of a Hessian Tower, the path is clear, find Karajan and finish him before Kelly, his right hand man, finds you. While we have one long story, actually from the menu you can see the level structure. And speaking of Kelly, let's say goodbye to Ned Kelly by reading the commentary. Kelly is named after Ned Kelly, an Australian bushranger with something of a Robin Hood figure. Ned's gang is infamous for fashioning suits of improvised plate armor, weighing over 40 kilograms to protect themselves from law enforcement. Armor didn't cover much below the waist though, a fact the police Glenn Rowan exploited to capture the outlaw by shooting him in the legs. Kelly was hanged in Melbourne jail in 1880. Kelly's body was dissected by medical students and the skull was rumored to have been given to the police, used it as a paperweight for a time. It eventually was returned to the Melbourne jail where it was on display until it was stolen in 1978 because apparently it became a museum now, the old jail. Despite some false claims, the skull has never been recovered. The rest of Kelly's remains were buried at Pentridge prison after the old Melbourne jail graveyard was accidentally unearthed during renovation in 1929, when the prison stopped working actually. The unearthed bodies were just placed unceremoniously in a mass grave in Pentridge. But in 2011, Kelly's skeleton was exhumed and transferred to distant relatives, who had them buried properly near his mother's grave. Kelly's armor is still on display at the State Library of Victoria. And there's your history minute about Australian outlaws, and who said you never learn anything from video games. That's Anderson, lead designer. They bring up an interesting point because all the background can be learned from Wikipedia, so it's nothing too fancy, but it's whether it's Japanese or Australian. Incidentally, it came from Ireland, that's why the name Kelly. So it's a murderous outlaw who became a sympathetic figure over time. Even if there's no time or resources to build big lore behind the game, you can still pick parts from our current world to fit in and give flesh to this world here. Undefined age and technology. With that, goodbye to Corporal Kelly. We are done this video. Take care, or as the Latin said, valet.
What are you doing? Were you gonna walk right up and say hi?